Welcome to Java. Thank you kindly for joining me. It's January 24th, 2025. Happy Friday to everybody. I hope we have a wonderful setup for you into this weekend and that you're out of the storms wherever you might be. There's quite a few globally. Now, with this, there's a lot of things that have been happening for the past day alone, and we'll get started, as always, with the markets. Now, our favorite risk indicator, the MMRI, has not moved much, still in the extreme territory. However, behind it, we've been watching the 10-year yield. There's a lot of movement in the bonds again, but it's balanced out by the move in the relative strength of the dollar, now below 108. So with this, we've got the fear greed meter moving back towards greed. So today would be more of a greed fear day, as we're in neutral territory now and more retailers piling into this green market that it's been for the past couple of days. However, I urge a bit of caution on this because there are a few things coming up now. Taking a look at our calendar, we're getting flash PMI. This is after the market opens, as well as existing home sales today. So if they're not too far out of what's expected, then I don't expect movement on this. However, this market is looking a little bit overcooked, and they do like to kind of close things out, if you will, prior to the weekend. So I expect some volatility. And as we're seeing at the moment, the stocks are in the green, but we've got some other currency movements I'll talk about in a moment that could very well affect this. We've got the futures are showing a bit of weakness and a little bit more powering into the fear trades of gold and silver. So keeping an eye on the silver above 31 and gold heading closer to that $3,000 mark. Now, I don't expect that today at any means, but it's definitely edging back in that direction. Even though it's got a little weakness in the charts, it's setting a consolidated area here. So what would that mean? That would mean if gold gains strength, stocks could be in for a bit of weakness or correction. Now with this, we've got United States stocks at the most expensive relative to bonds since the dot-com era. Now this was 2000 is what they're talking about. The correction that happened there was significant. So kind of a setup here to keep an eye on for certain. So with this, we've got cryptocurrencies back up, Bitcoin above 105,000 again, although not as much as could be. And we'll talk about that as well on more lawmaking. And this is really about rules more than the cryptocurrencies themselves. So with this, we've got some foreign movement we're going to be watching as well. European stocks in a rally, posting strong weekly gains. Now, this is because the currency has weakened there significantly. We've got the UK is in a recession at the moment, and it looks to be deepening by the numbers of employment. So what's going on internationally? We've got the Bank of Japan raised their interest rates the most in 17 years. Now we know that they were going to be a bit hawkish and try to protect their economy. They've got their inflation was rising, so they had to hike the rates. This protected their currency, and that in turn drops prices a bit. So they made no change to their future guidance, saying they're continuing to raise their interest rates if it's needed. So the important part here is kind of the quiet part at the end. Removed a phrase stressing the need to scrutinize risks surrounding overseas economies and markets, namely the US market. Now, they hold large amount of debt. If you've been here for a while, you understand the yen carry trade that we've been talking about. And this is not cleared out yet. They hold still a large amount of United States debt. So if they've taken it off the table, that they may risk being labeled as a currency manipulator, then that means they're willing to take the risk of dumping US stock markets and kind of taking it on that side. Overseas economies and markets really means the US. Now, if we go down a little farther to China, because we've got some other very interesting issues here. Spoke about China yesterday, but first off with the currency. The yuan advanced alongside other currencies sensitive to China's economy. Now, this is because Trump has decided not to implement the tariffs right away. And this is because there's a lot of larger deals going on in the background, as I was saying, that they're also being very quiet about. Now, there's a lot of trade imbalances they're allowing to uh, kind of work themselves out, if you will. You can do this either through the currency, you can do it through your interest rates or your bond market, your debt market, or you can do it through the actual goods or services in the trade. So with China, they're allowing this to kind of happen, if you will. Otherwise, the United States could suffer severe backlash if they implement these trade tariffs too rapidly. So with this, we've got Tesla's Chinese arrivals. These are all their EV manufacturers coming out of China that they're this in according to Trump, saying that they have a very big power over China. I'd rather not have to use it. And he's talking about the tariffs. Now, initially he had said 25%. After he got in office, I think he was kind of briefed, if you will, on exactly how large this trade imbalance has become, dialed that back to 10%, and has not implemented that yet. Now, with this, there's kind of a semi-related story. Matsu undersea internet cables have been severed. We don't know whether this looks to be conspiracy theories, whether it is sabotage, whether it is accidental, but we'll keep an eye on that because that is the communications. Now, with all of this going on, the TikTok controversy, a new hot commodity on eBay is phones with TikTok already installed. Now, they're going to watch forward whether they're going to continue with this ban. So, going deeper into cryptocurrency, because this really is main story, in my opinion now, we've got the SEC canceling controversial crypto accounting rule, the SAB 121. Now, in essence, what this did was to require banks to record cryptocurrencies as a liability on their balance sheets. This really caused a lot of issues for them. So removing this hurdle, if you will, gives a boost to cryptocurrencies. They've also had another executive order that will exclude the Fed and FDIC from crypto working groups. They established this cryptocurrency working group, and it's also going to encompass some AI from the future stablecoin regulations. So, what this does effectively is cuts it off and puts it in the realm of the Treasury. So, cutting out the banks. Federal Reserve is not federal and not government portion. So, I think that's an interesting move and also back that. Now, something I find interesting, there's also back to the conspiracy theories. If you tinfoil hat, John McAfee had an artificial intelligence token surface. Now, he supposedly died in a Spanish prison. And recently, this AI token for him, it first appeared that someone had hacked his account, but this token has some very interesting qualities to it, if you will, wrapped in the security that it has. So, if you got some stories about this, leave a comment about it. If you've got uh, anything, information on this that you would like to share, I would love to hear your opinion about this because there was a lot of story behind. He was the one behind the, if you're not familiar with him, McAfee antivirus. And he had an awful lot of information on higher up people. So I'd like to jump over with the banking system just for a bit. Trump telling the Bank of America to stop blocking conservatives. Now, they made it very clear and they actually admitted that there were several high end conservative figures that were unbanked or had their banking cut from Bank of America due to their political views. So quite evil in my opinion. However, they are independent. So with this, I would like to speak about a couple of things for OpenAI again, if you will. I don't care for this is Sam Altman. First, it was supposed to be non-profit. Now they're talking about taking the price to Microsoft because they are becoming a for-profit company. Now, this has been a point of contention with Elon Musk because of how this was started. However, my contention with this is that when Sam Altman started talking about this in the first place, he said that he was not going to profit from this. Now he is going to profit from this very clearly on a percentage point. And this goes into more because now he's clearing 500 billion part of this deal for the Stargate that was just proposed. They are the artificial intelligence segment of this, and they are to exclusively serve OpenAI. So with all of this getting direct government funding, and it is going directly into his pocket. So he's also backing retro biosciences. This is in not exactly related, and yet it is. Bioscience is raising another $1 billion for this project. This one is geared towards extending human life. So if you put this all together, the Stargate project tied in, gathering DNA, supposedly geared towards a cancer vaccine with artificial intelligence, $500 billion worth of backing from the United States government and the sole benefactor. So put that all together. What do you think of that? Moving over to at home in the United States, we've got troops, military troops arriving in Texas and California. They are now supporting the border security. Now, this is to fulfill what was promised as far as the border security. There is new executive order demanding immediate lockdown on immigration. So this is being put into place. There are now some initial deportations happening, and this is expected to bring down the crime level in particular areas. But I really want to put an eye towards BRICS for a moment. We've got the media summit kicking off in Moscow again, and they're beginning to speak here. But with this and all of these new innovations, which I think are wonderful for the most part, we've got Russia scientists that developed a drug to treat blood cancer. Now, why is this not being shared with Big Pharma in the United States? Why are we not looking towards purchasing this? It's not about health or the development. It's all about Big Pharma and money, and this is a major pointer to it. So with all of this, the wars that we talk about frequently, the physical wars appear to be winding down. There is the ceasefire between Israel and Hamas at the moment. And we've also got Trump saying that Ukraine is ready to make a deal. And the Kremlin has now officially said that they are awaiting signals from the United States administration saying that Vladimir Putin is now ready to talk to Trump. He said basically, anytime you would like to make the appointment, let us know, ready to speak with you. So with this, I wish you all a wonderful weekend. Hope you're green on your trades today. Caution into going towards that volatility we expect in that power hour end of the day into the weekend. And until I see you again, my friends, stay free.